Detroit Bob back at you, and welcome back to RockMine. We're going back to Michigan, so make sure you watch all the way through because we got a great gem of the week, and you're going to want to see it. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You'll stay up to date with all the stories of these great rock and roll gems that we uncover in our travels. Thank you very much, and here we go. What's up, guys? You guys still have that room full of 45s?
Oh, yeah, right back there.
All right, I'm going to go take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some sales going on here.
Cool.
There too.
You guys mind if I roll some video from my YouTube page?
Knock yourself out.
All right, cool. I'll credit you. I'll probably start there and then work my way back to the sale bin.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks. Yep.
They're going to be $1 or less more.
Okay, here we are. This is sort of vinyl heaven. I've been in here before, and literally A through Z. So you can see B, C, E, F, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, X, Y, Z. Right there. I like my B's because I got my Beach Boys, my Beatles, and my Bob Dylan. So I'll probably start here looking through some of this stuff. You gotta love when the Beatles have their own slot. So we're gonna look at that bin first. So Swan. Ooh, Vee-Jay, right away. Just go ahead and flip through these. Flip. Older bracket, 581, 587, 587, 587, 581, 581, and 581. So no 498 there. I like new arrivals too, because you never know, stuff just gets dumped in here. Ooh, like Meat Puppets. Great band. 2023 release. I don't know if it's a $23 worth of 45, but I saw them in 85 out in the Quad Cities. I would call them cow punk. And you got to believe I was excited when they showed back up with Nirvana on the MTV Unplugged with Nirvana. So Kurt Cobain liked them too. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's... So I'm in heaven right now. I'm in a record shop. Just going through some new releases. David Gilmour. Third World. These are a little pricey. Gonna have to hit that bargain bid. Juliana Hatfield, A Lot of Love. That looks like a good disc. One thing you don't have, when you're crushed for time, you don't have the luxury of just hanging out for hours like you did when you were 12 or 13. Kev and I used to go to Harmony House and literally hang out there for hours to the point where they kicked us out several times. And they would say, "You guys gonna buy something?" Oh, we're looking. Some reggae in here. 2 against 1. I love anything by Third Man. I think Jack White's done a great job with that label. And I'd love to see other record companies sort of copy his lead. Look at that. It looks like Keith Haring type artwork. Huh. Maybe we have a Bob Dylan blowing in the wind. Tommy D. Not in that batch. All right, how about the other Bob? That would be Seeger. I think I see Bob Seger right there. So he's got his own box. So we're going to dig into that. All right, a lot of these I'm going to have, but you never know. You're in Michigan. Old time rock and roll till it shines. So it's a good twofer. I've been told, or urban legend, or what have you, that was the most popular jukebox 45 of all time. Against the Wind is a great song. I think it's more of a song for somebody my age. Then I didn't really get it that much when I was 18 or 17, whenever it first came out. So you're seeing a lot of late issue Seeger. And they just went to town. They probably figured all this stuff would have the same traction. Some of the later stuff, it sort of gets lost in that AOR format, do they call it? I love Like a Rock. I mean, it was on that commercial forever. I think I have a copy of it, otherwise I'd probably pick that pretty nice clean picture sleeve. Okay, Highway Child. But looking back, so that's going in the collection. Because you might know, looking back, if you remember episode 1 where I showed you the early Capitol label stuff, it looks like that. So it looks like the original Looking Back, not from Live Bullet, but the original album version. And I'm quite sure I don't have the original album version of 45. So you got to get to know your collection by memory too. Great, these guys are just out there like filing stuff. What a great cover. A lot of those. Understanding was a great song. It just got stapled to that movie. Gotta take a look at this condition on this one. If I walk out of here today just with this, I'll be happy. It's a little scratched up. But look at, I think you get it very good. I'm gonna buy that disc. Cool. I always look for Rush when I'm in here. Why? Because Michigan's close to Canada. And you never know. Some of the stuff just could come over the bridge. Ambassador. Looking for that holy grail. All right, I think I'm ready. That's a pretty good little bargain bin you got going there. Yeah. I started collecting vinyl again, and this was one of the first shops that I went to, and I had the opportunity to buy an album off your dad.
Oh, Alex is Greg's son.
Okay.
I was Greg's helper.
Okay.
But yeah.
And it was, I didn't realize it at the time. It was the last time I was going to see the guy, but I bought Who Quadrophenia from him, and he goes, this is one of my desert island albums. And I go, I agree.
Nice.
So, and then next thing you know, I was reading the obituary. So, FYI, just tell him that I really appreciated his dad.
Yeah. We're missing him for sure.
Yeah.
He's been gone just about 3 years, end of the month here. And that one was from the back. These ones are from over there.
Yep.
I take it. Okay.
And I left my card.
Sure,
I'm going to launch my YouTube channel in January. It's going to be called RockMine, and you just follow me around all over the world looking for 45s.
Nice. That'll be cool.
And I'm looking for the Holy Grail, which is Beatles and Vee-Jay number 498. They misspelled it with 2 T's, and it was a flop. They didn't know what to think of these English kids singing rock and roll. Then they went on Ed Sullivan, and the rest is history. 6 months later, Capitol Records grabbed their contract, and
so 848.
all right, let's go. And if you got any stickers or magnets you want to give away, I'll definitely list you guys in the credits if I use any of this footage.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, free advertising,
I'd watch that show.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a half hour long every week. I'm in a different city, different record store. I go to 3 different shops, and then I pick out my gem of the week. Nice. And I tell you about the record, who they were, when it came out, what about the label,
you got it.
Yeah, the rarity, blah, blah, blah. All right, when you hit these little small towns, you never know what the weather's going to be. And today's a nice day. So you can see the leaves are changing, the wind is blowing, and we're looking for record shops. Right over there, I used to go when I was a kid, and down in the basement, let's walk over there. Down in the basement, they had a record shop. Matter of fact, my dad would be over at the bookshop, and I would go down these stairs right here when I was about 12. And there was a record store down here. And I remember buying the Who by Numbers as a cutout for $2.50. So that shows you how long I've been coming to this town. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, that's for sure. Go in here, you never know, record store, I get lucky. Are you guys new or used books? Okay, you don't have any records, do you? Sorry. What's that?
Are you looking for records?
Yeah, I was just over at RPM.
Okay, do you know Eugene's?
No.
Eugene's is going to be on this side of the street. It's all the way down to the point where you hit the coin slot. Are you familiar with the coin slot?
On Front Street?
Yeah, on Front Street.
Can I walk there, or do I got to drive?
Yeah. Coin slot is this like arcade kind of thing.
Okay.
But underneath it, in the basement area, the Eugene's record shop.
Okay, definitely. Good tip. Thanks. Yep. All right, so sort of proves my point. Bookstores are a wealth of information. So we're going to hit Eugene's. This is a great place to see a film. And I think I saw Little Big Man with Dustin Hoffman, possibly in 1967, 68, but also Omega Man with Charlton Heston. So it's probably one of the coolest theaters in the Midwest. We finally found Eugene's. So we almost walked right past it. I'm going to go in here, see what it's all about. Looks like they should be open. If I can get that door open, that would be cool. See what this is all about. Never been here before. Wow, this looks promising. Or scary in a horror movie kind of way. Wow. This must be the place. Good, good. How you doing? I'm a collector. And I don't know if you have any of those 7 inches or not.
I've got a very small selection right now.
All right.
I'm in the process. I just opened a couple months ago, by the way.
Got it.
But I'm going to be adding a bunch more in the next few months.
All right.
I've got a collection, a pretty large collection. I just need to get some crates.
All right, cool. I'm going to flip through what you got. You don't mind if I roll a little video, do you?
I got a jukebox, too.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's over here.
Oh, wow. Let's take a look at that. That's how I got started. I got a 63 jukebox. Sweet.
I haven't actually plugged it in since I've got a bunch of 45s in there right now.
It's a nice looking unit. This is a Seeburg. That's a really good brand.
Yeah, 1963.
63 also. Okay.
One of the first stereo jukeboxes.
Yeah. Mine's I got a Row AMI. And story behind Seeburg is basically the guys who were in the space program just for a hobby just created a jukebox one day.
Yeah.
You know, the engineering was way over the top, but they're known to be very, very durable. That's a nice looking unit right there.
Yeah, I got it back in the 90s. My dad, it was my dad's originally.
Sweet.
But
Does it work?
it does work. It needs a little work.
Yeah.
Sometimes with selections it'll skip certain
Yeah.
selections, but I've got to go in and clean it and put some time into it.
Yeah, there's a guy in Mansalona that services them, and that's the closest I've been able to find.
Yep.
But these things weigh a ton, so getting them in and out of here is the hard part.
It's very difficult.
Okay,
But I do a lot of work on them myself.
nice. Yeah, I did most of mine myself. I had to take my amp and ship it out and have a guy recondition it. But that was about it. Mine has the 200 selections, which
Eugene's
is 100
was
records.
small and just getting
Yeah.
started.
How do you?
But I just
everybody's
couldn't
like,
get
this holds
RPM
200
out of my
records. I'm like,
head.
no,
When
it
I
doesn't
met the
hold 200
owner
records.
3
It has
years
200
previous,
selections,
he
one on
looked
each
me
side.
in the
Right?
eye
You know.
and gave me that Quadrophenia album,
Okay.
almost like
And
he was
Seeburg's
passing
the
something
rack
on
is
to me.
horizontal,
That
so
and all the
I got a
nostalgia I
rotary
get when I
rack. Which
come
is,
back to
that's a nice
Michigan.
looking machine, though.
It's really,
very cool.
really my home,
All right.
even though I haven't
Yeah, I'm gonna
lived
flip
there
through these
since
records.
1985. So I'm coming back to this record store, and I'm coming back to Traverse City, and I'm coming back to Detroit too. I really, really love this state, and I really, really love coming back to visit my old haunts.
Hey, Detroit Bob back at you. And boy, did I hate for this episode to end. I had a great time in Michigan. And I tell you what, we found a lot of cool records. Between RPM and Eugene's, I just got a plethora, a stack of records. We got some Brownsville Station in there. We got some Amboy Dukes. And guess what? This little gem I picked up happens to be worth $58. So it's the Spandels Say No Girl backed with The Boy Next Door. So this is on sale right now on Discogs. Detroit Bob, do a search, you can find that. It's not my genre, but it just sort of caught my eye. It was sort of a wild looking, weird old label. So all those records, I paid about $16, and a median value is 96, 104-ish. So I'm happy with that, especially if that one sells. I'll pump that money back into my collection, and I'll make a little profit on that. High value would be 230, perfect day, perfect condition. But really what we want to talk about, the moment we've been waiting for, the Detroit Rock City, Michigan Madness. Well, we were actually way up here. Traverse City, I spent my summers in Traverse City. So I always loved to go back there. And that's where we found Eugene's and RPM. And sure enough, I got to give them a shout out because I told them they would. But this record store is soon becoming my favorite. But Eugene's is going to be good. So you got to be patient with them. They're just getting started. So check them out. Detroit Bob back at you. And here it is, the moment we've been waiting for, the gem of the week. It is Looking Back by Bob Seger, backed with Highway Child. It's a vinyl 45 RPM single in stereo, and it's a Jacksonville pressing. Now, released in the USA, and 1971, what a year. I cleaned it up, and I think it's a very good plus, so I'm very happy with that. The genre is rock. The style is rock and roll. I didn't even know there were styles, but that's so fitting for Bob Seger. 105 people have it, 43 want it. That's a pretty good ratio. Its median value is $8, and I paid $2 for it, so I'm happy with that. Perfect day, $25, right? And why do we know this song? Because this was not on an album. It was a non-album single. But you're saying, hang on a second, Detroit Bob, I know this song. The reason you know it is because it was on this. Everybody had this album. And guess what kicked off side 4, Looking Back? Remember that great build-up and that organ intro? So we all knew this song growing up. And as a matter of fact, it was number 96, the original single on the U.S. chart. It went to number 2 in the Detroit charts. So Looking Back by Bob Seger. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I think next week we are finally going to get down to Arizona. So you're not going to want to miss it. Subscribe. Love you. See you next time.